Hello and welcome to Tiffany's Tiny Things. In today's video we are doing something very special. It's actually a collaboration with a bunch of other fantastic artists and it's called Hazbin Helluva Doll Collab. So as you can hear from the name, it's going to be dolls inspired by Hazbin Hotel or Helluva Boss, the series. In the description you'll find links to all of the other amazing artists. And stick around till the end when I'll show you our group photo. As you saw in the thumbnail, I am going to make Charlie. Let's not waste any more time and let's get started. So this is the doll I will be using for making Charlie. And as you can see, it's a BJD doll. I got some extra hands and feet to her, and I will be using this vinyl anime face doll. I made her some underwear off camera just so we don't get demonetized because we're showing some doll boobs or something, I don't know. I will be using my usual pattern making skills by covering the doll in plastic wrap and masking tape. And as you see, she will have this little round skirt part thing. And now we'll just cut everything off the doll and make the pattern. I will be using this faux leather fabric that looks kind of like latex, and I like that look for her, so we'll just place all the pattern pieces on the back of the fabric, draw it out with a white fabric pencil, and I'll just cut out all of the pieces. And you know what is great about this fabric? You don't have to fray check the edges because it doesn't fray. It's amazing. Now we have all the pieces, so we'll just sew everything together on my sewing machine. I'll start with attaching the collar pieces, like this. And then I'll attach the front and back pieces by the shoulders, like this. And then I will sew the darts in the front, like this. And as you see, she needs them because boobs. And then I'll just cut off the excess from the darts because we don't need that, and also from the shoulders. And then I'll sew the sides together like this. And when that's done, we can finally attach the skirt piece. Then I'll sew the skirt piece together in the back and leave the upper part open, where I'll glue on some Velcro for the closure, as you can see here. I tried out this leather belt for her and I really liked how it looks, so she'll keep that. And for her little heart on the chest area, I cut out this little heart out of faux leather. And I'm just gonna glue it on with some fabric glue, and there we have it. For her golden buttons, I just took some golden beads and simply glued them on the front like this. And off camera I made her this petticoat and also the socks and the gloves she's wearing. The shoes I didn't make, I bought them like that. And with that, her outfit is done. Now let's make her demon tail. And for that I will be using cosplay and this aluminium wire. Cosplay is great because even after you bake it in the oven, it's still bendable. So I think that will be perfect for a tail. And then I just bake it, and when it's baked, I'll paint it black. And as you see, I added a little red heart at the end and also attached these elastic bands to it so that she can wear it under her dress. I made her a wig cap off camera, and I'm going to attach her devil's horns onto the wig cap. I think that will be easier. So I have this base out of wire and I'm just gonna glue it in place. And I strengthen it with some pieces of fabric on top and some white glue. And we'll just let that dry. And now to the actual sculpting of the horns. I have this polymorph kind of plastic, I don't know what it is, but it's like plastic beads and you put it into hot water. It has to be boiling hot, so you don't put your fingers in it. And when it's hot, it actually is malleable, so you can form it into whatever you want, but you have to be fast because as it cools, it hardens. And you can't really make elaborate details with it, but for this, I think it worked out really good. So we are going to paint the horns now, and I'll do a base coat of red, and then I'll use some black spray paint on the tips. And here you see the horns are done, and now it's time to add her hair. So I have these wefts ready to glue on, and I'll just glue them on from the back to the front like this. And for her red part, she has kind of red hair underneath her bangs, and I'll just glue on these red pieces and do a elaborate fold over it later. So I'll just cut the edges by the hairline here to make it look more natural, like it's an actual hairline. To fixate her hair fold of the bangs thingy, I'm gonna try to do it with some watered down glue and a lot of hairspray. As you see, I've sectioned the hair because we only want the red to be visible in the front and not further down, as you will see later. So I'm first trying to just shape the hair and spray it, and even with the hot iron here, I'm trying to shape it some more on the sides. And then I do the same thing with the blonde hair. I just fold it down, flattening it a bit, using a lot of hairspray just to keep it in place. And then I'll make her trident, and I just cut it out of cardboard like this. Then I'll attach that to a stick. Then I'll paint it, just with regular acrylic paints. As you see, I do a base color of black so that the silver will pop better later. And then I'll attach all of the details with this glittery craft foam, and I just use regular Gorilla Glue for that, and then the trident is done. And now it's time for the face up. I'll always start with a couple of layers of Mr. Super Clear UV Flat. And when that's dry, I'll start with the watercolor pencils, and I just sketch out all of the features with very light colors at first. And then I go in with the darker and darker colors as I feel more confident with my choices. And of course I spray with Mr. Super Clear in between the layers just to save my work so far. I also use some soft pastels for the coloring around the eyes here. And then I'll just sketch out the eyebrows. I go a little bit outside of the actual eye hole because I want kind of a elongated shape to the eye. And as you see, I use some acrylic paints on top of my drawings because I want it to be a little bit darker. And I also fill in the mouth with some acrylics. And we can't forget about her red cheeks. And I just fill them in with soft pastels and some watercolor pencils. And some final touch-ups. And we can't forget she needs some glittery mica powder all over her face, because why not? And then I'll seal everything in with some Mr. Super Clear, and then the face is done. For her nails, I just cut some plastic strips from a box, like a Barbie box. I bent them a little and glued them on with regular glue, and then I just paint them black with some regular acrylic paint. and then she has some really long demonic nails. I made her a few eyes out of UV resin that I colored red and yellow, and I decided to just draw on the pupil like this, but then I decided I really didn't like how these eyes looked when I put them in. So I redid them kind of the same way, but instead of drawing on the pupil, I made them in Procreate so it looked more natural, and that's what we got here. So let's put the eyes in. And there you have the face. Done. I finish off her face with glossing her mouth, and with that everything is done and it's time for the beauty shots. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and don't forget to push the bell button so you don't miss my next video. And a big thank you to my Patreons. You are the best, and if you also would like to be one of my patrons, you find the link down in the box below the video. And that was my contribution to this Hazbin Helluva doll collab. It's been so fun making Charlie, and don't forget to check out all of the other amazing artists' dolls. You'll find the links in the description. I'll see you next time.